Lahat.
Okay, let's try. Okay, today our first podcast. I'm Annabelle and this is
Yaya Arlene.
Yaya, and we're here in Kuala Lumpur and I've been living here for the last 15 years this December. Yes, 15 years. And Yaya is how many years?
11.
11. And today is Yaya's birthday. So we decided to do this little vlog so that we could share to some of the Malaysians, and in fact not just Malaysian, all the amo, meaning to all the people who hire Filipino workers, and give you some tips, so I call it the 10 things you should know so that your Yaya stays 10 years or more with you. What do you think, Arlene? Good topic ba? Good topic. Approve. Okay. So, as you can see, those plants at the back. Yaya has been taking care of our monsteras and I think one of the vlogs will vlog about our plants. But meantime, we wanted to talk about 10 things that you should know about Filipinos or Filipinas, especially if they are Yaya or caretaker or your helper. Some people call them their maid. So I would like to share the 10 things that I feel as Annabelle, a Chinese-Filipino who grew up in Manila and have been living outside Manila for a few years, and I've seen how Filipino workers have dispersed, right? They're everywhere. They're at Singapore, they're in Malaysia, we see around the world. Yes, around the world. Even when I went to Italy and went to France, you'll bump into some Filipinos. But I'm sharing it from the perspective of if you do have a Filipino worker working in your home with you, taking care of your family, your kids, your parents, your grandparents, I wanted to give you 10 tips which we believe, we both believe are important.
10 things you should know.
10 things you should know that will make the relationship much better so that they can stay more than 10 years with you.
10 years
Okay, let's start with number one. And number one is, what's the most important thing that Filipino need, especially Yaya?
Coffee.
Kape. Okay, so coffee, kape, is very important to Filipinos, especially for breakfast and merienda. Merienda time is...
Merienda.
What time is merienda, Arlene?
Tea time.
How Filipino workers have dispersed, right? They're everywhere. They're at Singapore, they're in Malaysia, we see...
Around
the world, yes, around the world. Even when I went to Italy and went to France, you'll bump into some Filipinos. But I'm sharing it from the perspective of if you do have a Filipino worker working in your home with you, taking care of your family, your kids, your parents, your grandparents, are important.
10 things you should know.
10 things you should know that will make the relationship much better so that they can stay more than 10 years with you.
10 years
Okay, let's start with number one. And number one is, what's the most important thing that Filipino need, especially Yaya?
Coffee.
Kape. Okay, so coffee, kape, is very important to Filipinos, especially for breakfast and merienda. Merienda time is...
Merienda.
What time is merienda, Arlene?
Tea time.
Tea time. So,
Or sometimes before they going to sleep.
or yes.
If they cannot sleep, they drink coffee.
Okay, Arlene, why don't you share why coffee is important? Pakita nga natin yung kape. Come on. Ito,
Not
ang kape
sponsored
ni...
po.
Oh, not sponsored. No, not sponsored by Nestle. No. But this is what I buy for Yaya. And once in a while, I do find myself drinking it. Though we do have a coffee machine for ourselves. But I think this one is really good quality. And I wanted her to enjoy as well. Really good coffee.
We bring also our coffee, own coffee when we go out of town.
So,
Just
so
to make sure.
in short, this is for the home. And recently, after the lockdown, when we could go jalan-jalan already, we love to buy this one. This one is pretty, again, not sponsored, but we find that this 3-in-1 is pretty good. Yaya likes the taste. And I think that, by giving really good coffee, whatever you could afford, from your end, is important because it will energize them in the morning, energize them in the afternoon, energize them before they sleep.
Going to sleep.
Before going to sleep, and especially before Yaya go and attack and wash all the toilets, she want to have energy. Kape, coffee is important. Pero,
Kape-kape at swerte.
Teka. Is it complete? Kompleto ba? Nakape lang ang pinag-uusapan natin. Coffee is not the only thing that you should provide. Come, let's show the other one.
Dapat may partner.
Dapat may partner. Okay, dapat may partner. So, again, not sponsored. No. But personally, I love these two combinations together. When I was going to work back many years ago when I was in Manila before I go to work, I remember my mom preparing coffee with Coffee Maid, syempre, and eating bread. So this is something that they grew up with and they, they treasure. And I think it's a very small thing that you could do to make your yaya, make your helper feel happy that you value them, So coffee and Coffee Maid, it comes together. Yaya's favorite. Next, tama. Okay. Next question. What is number 2 important thing that you need to give to your yaya?
Tinapay.
Tinapay means bread. Bread meaning gardenia bread. Massimo.
May tinapay.
May tinapay. Sayang, we don't have an example now, but I'm pretty sure if you're Malaysian, you know what's gardenia, you know what's Massimo. Those are easily available at the petrol station, even in the convenience stores. Personally, one of our favorites are Massimo. That's her favorite. So we usually would have that. That will be their typical breakfast. And they love dipping the tinapay, the bread, into the coffee. But is it enough that we have coffee and tinapay? What's number 3, Arlene?
Number 3, may tinapay, may palaman.
Palaman! Okay, bring out the palaman. We've got one palaman here. Okay, number 3 is don't leave the bread just bread. One of the Filipino favorites. Not Skippy, but I'm talking about peanut butter. In the Philippines, we have this brand called Lily's peanut butter. Lily's peanut butter, which if you go to Kotaraya, you can find it. We do have instances when we would have it at home, but today we don't have anymore. I love peanut butter by Lily's as well as the cocoa jam. So in the absence of Lily's peanut butter, Skippy is quite popular, as you can see. Paubos na, it's almost finished. Paalala mo, we gotta go buy at the Jaya Grocer. Okay. Not sponsored, but make sure you have something interesting that Filipinos will love as they put something on their bread, because the small things that you do and the small things that you buy of quality for them means a lot. And they may not say it every day, but you know that they will feel the care and love that you have.
Feel important.
Okay. Number 4 topic.
Old things, old clothes.
What does it mean?
Pamana.
So pamana means inheritance in Filipino, and pamana means sometimes, I think that a lot of the employers are fortunate. They have many things. We acquire things over, years of our lives. And I've seen some employers who hesitate to give some of the old things. Naku na, napapa-Pilipino na ako. The old things to their helpers. I don't know. I don't fully understand why. But they feel fear. They have fear of giving it to their helpers, when in fact, the Filipinos are the number one hoarders. They love balikbayan boxes. I wish we had a photo of it, but we just sent one out.
I just sent.
She just sent back home. A balikbayan box is literally a box almost as until the height of here, and they will chunk everything in that box, no matter what the weight, and it will be shipped to the Philippines for their families back home. So when you do have pamana or old things like old clothes, old shoes, old kitchenware that is decent, but you don't know who to give to, please feel free to ask your helper if they want it and if they want it for their balikbayan box. Okay, next one. We're at number 5. Ano ang importante for Yaya?
Cellphone.
Cellphone. Okay.
TikTok, Facebook, Instagram.
Okay. No, so I know of many people who are strict with their helpers, and I understand the fear. However, we are living in an era where this is their only company, right?
Entertainment.
Their only company and entertainment. So they left their families for many years just to be with us, to serve us. And if that small cellular phone, mobile phone can help them feel connected with their family, even at night, and you can set your rules on how they should use it, when they should use it. I think that's the most important. Have an open conversation about the use of mobile phones, and I'm sure it can coexist within the relationship. So, anything to add on cell phone?
Don't be afraid.
Huh?
Don't be afraid.
Oh, don't be afraid.
Huwag
Okay.
silang matakot na paggamitin ng cellphone yung mga katulong. Kasi sometimes they can use also when they ask their maid to do something like this, or ask, you have to do this one, you have to do this one, no? Their own communication also as employer and the yaya.
Oh, yeah. I like to WhatsApp her. Even at night
They can
or...
WhatsApp anytime,
Yes,
message
yes.
anytime.
I think-
even though day off, sometimes, okay, before you come home, can you please buy this one like this? So
It's
just set a rules na they don't violate this one. That's one.
So,
Have the agreement.
pwedeng
Both side,
pag-usapan, both sides. And
Both
also, I
side.
think for your own convenience.
just open.
Be open, have an open conversation, and personally, as a mother of young children, there were times that I was very happy to receive photos, videos of my kids when back then I was working in the office, and then your helper is back home. They saw the moment where they start walking, crawling, so they were able to capture it and share it with me. So I find that very it was great. It was great. So I think you need to be able to trust your helper, and hopefully you find somebody like Yaya. So okay, number 6. What is the number 6 thing that you should do to help you keep your Yaya? Salary, yes.
Time.
So always remember, they came and left their whole family to come here and work for us for money. This is very clear. It's a transaction. So please, by all means, always give the salary on time. And if you can, also ensure that they have a way to send the money back home, because they came here to work, Anything to add?
Don't keep their salary. Maybe you can ask to keep little bit of their salary, but don't take all the salary and ask them to, you shouldn't send money today, this one, because it should be every month we have to send money back home. No. Maybe you can ask at least every month your maid give you 100, 200, it depends. But just for you to keep, and then the rest you give, because we really need to send money to the Philippines, to our family.
Okay, so this one is
Because
where
because I have some friends, they say the employer don't give their salary, and the employer, they only want to give when they go back to the Philippines. Then why we come here? We want to come here to work and have every month income so we can provide for our family. If 2 years we stay here, you don't want to give our salary, then how we work? How we provide things for our family? Diba?
So, to add on to what Yaya said, a lot of the employers that I have as friends,
They're
ask
scared.
me. They ask me personally because obviously I'm from there. I grew up, and I have Yaya. They often ask, "Is it so true that
Why we always
why
say,
they send everything back home, not even leaving 1 cent or 1 ringgit or 100 ringgit for their own needs? Why like that? Bakit ganyan? Why would in anyone's logical mind send back the whole salary?" So when a lot of them ask me this, then that's when I realize that they don't understand the weight of how poverty is so really bad and poor in certain parts of the Philippines, and that
the importance of family.
the importance of the family back home waiting for that full salary. So I hope that by sharing how poor, how in need these people are, you could entrust and give the full salary if you can, or if at most you keep 100 or 200 just to on their emergency days that they may need. I understand that, but don't keep majority of it. Okay, number 7. Ano ang number 7?
Please, sometimes give advance, yung, na yun?
Be open.
Be open to your maids. For example, if you want us for example, it's our day off, and then you need us on that day, at least tell us in advance also.
So apart from that one, I think we're talking about Pakiusap, which is to talk openly. Pakiusap, to request, open communication with your helper. I know that sometimes, depending on the helper, maybe their English is better or not as good, but be open. Don't be afraid of sharing your thoughts, your emotions, your disappointment, and your request. The Filipinos are more than happy to accommodate, and I think by being open, then you have a better relationship, and this will help you get to beyond 10 years.
Don't always shout. You talk to us as a
Human. Yes.
Don't always scold. Do this one, do this. The more you scold, the more we do it wrong.
Ikaw,
Yeah.
ha?
That
No.
is our revenge.
Okay.
We understand you, but we pretend we don't understand you.
Okay. Talaga, Loko to, Kailan mo ginawa yon? Okay. Number 8. Daily essentials. Sige, bakit? Ano ang daily essentials mo?
Shampoo, toothpaste, sabon, napkin.
So, what I'm talking about is, I think as employers, yes, as employers, we can make the relationship and the stay more pleasant, convenient for our helpers by providing some of the daily essentials that are just very basic, right? We're talking about shampoo, minsan may conditioner, pero remember, a lot of Filipino and Filipinas love their hair. So if you give conditioner, even better, but daily essentials means, shampoo, let's talk about napkin, we're talking about toothpaste, toothbrush. I think they're small daily essentials that can help. Don't burden them. I know it's a small detail that they could do themselves, but they will appreciate it. Rest assured that if you did this for your yaya, deep in their heart, if they don't verbally tell you, they love it and they will remember. Okay? So, number 9.
Number 9, please allow us to talk to our Filipino kababayans.
Fellow Filipino.
Fellow Filipinos. Yeah.
Why? What did you see?
Some employers don't allow their yayas to talk to other Filipinos or any housemaid of their neighbors, because they think they're gossiping something like that, or other Filipinos like influence them like that, teach them how to do this one, the old naughty things.
So number 9 means, allow them to talk to others, especially if they see other fellow Filipinos or Filipinas. This is, to me, it's important that you give them freedom, so that they
Maybe you just teach them to
be cautious.
Teach
Them to be cautious. Filipinos are naturally, culturally very friendly people, and they love to connect, they love to sing, they love to be together, they love to talk to each other, they love to exchange stories. This has been part of the root culture of Filipinos. So when they go out of the country and they see a fellow Filipino at a resort, at the hotel, at the condo, at the pasar,
at the lift,
at the elevator,
you don't know, we already talking. We don't need to open our mouth, but we are talking
with the eyes.
With the eyes.
So anyway, this means that allow them. You need to talk openly to your helper. You can warn them. You can give you can give caution, but don't tie them or hold them back, because it's in their DNA to be happy, friendly, talk to fellow Filipinos. Of course, they do talk about stuff, but if you trust that your helper has been taken care well at home and that the relationship is good, I don't think there's anything to hide. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to worry about them chatting with others. That just brings happiness, and the homesickness goes away, at least for that temporary moment. So allow them to talk to other Filipinos. And number 10, last but not the least, ting, 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 ting.
Rice.
Rice. Kanin. So rice is a daily thing that every Filipino worker, I would dare say almost every Filipino worker will want and need and treasure. Back home when I was growing up, I could also have days where I eat rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And rice is just so part of the DNA of the life of everything. So don't stinge. Please give them at least the 2 meals of rice per day. Make sure you provide this rice for them. And how about Yaya? Please share.
Don't be gulat if your 5 kilo rice is finished in 1 week.
No, don't be scared. So it really depends on the size of your Yaya, but rice
can be everything.
Rice can be everything, yes. And rice, how about Yaya, you share for a Filipino in Philippines, or while you were growing up, what are the things that you could eat with rice, back then and even now?
Rice you can eat just if you have salt, toyo.
Soya sauce, toyo is soya sauce.
And anything, rice with egg, and sometimes sugar with milk, Milo powder, when you have kids.
Hindi sponsored yan Milo didn't sponsor.
We used to eat that rice with Milo like this.
So yeah, or egg, salted fish,
bagoong.
Bagoong, yes. Bagoong is like the salty fish preserve.
Fish sauce.
And I think, in Malaysia, we have a lot of the powder, yung powder na, yung karne na powder, yung
Matchang.
hindi ba atsang yun? Forgot
what
chicken floss. Floss. Those Chinese love chicken floss. I think in Malay they also have their chicken floss version. So yeah, they can eat. Basically, the answer is they can eat rice with everything. So number 10 is important, rice. So let's do a rundown. First, 10 things that you gotta do to help ensure that your Yaya will stay with you for more than 10 years while you're overseas. I'm not talking about Philippines. I'm talking about Yaya overseas. Yaya ano ang tawag mo sa Pinoy? Overseas?
OFW.
Oh, OFW, Overseas Filipino Worker, OFW. For you to keep the OFW, to keep your yaya with you for 10 years, number 1, coffee. Number 2, bread, tinapay. Number 3, make sure there's palaman, the jam,
Bread.
Spread inside for the bread. Number 4, your old things you can inherit and give to your yaya to send back home. Number 5, mobile phone. 6, salary on time and, as much as you can. 7, to have open communications. 8, daily essentials. 9, to allow them to talk to others. And 10, the most important, rice every day. So, Yaya, satisfied? I think that should be enough tips
Yeah.
for the amo,
Yes.
for all the boss,
Yes.
amo, boss babe, bossing, whatever they call it, sir, madam. Good luck. Good luck to you. And hopefully that helps you keep your yaya for more than 10 years. Happy birthday, Yaya!
Thank you, thank you.
Ready, get set, go! Rice is life.